Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the winners match. The winners match here of the Maestros of the game. Round 16, group stage, Group D, the final group of said group stage. And we are here to determine who will be the first player to advance on in first place into the playoffs. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gabba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our initial best of 5, our first best of 5 of the broadcast. We have 3 more ahead of us, of course. We're here to determine who will make it out first. Meanwhile, Probescat at ShoWTimE, we do see a double gas open at Maru going for a fake proxy Rax. It is not uncommon to hide your Rax at the natural, further in the main base, at the 3rd or at the 4th base location as well. So ShoWTimE, he is on the hunt. We'll see how he responds. We'll see how he reacts to Maru. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up. But yes, welcome one and all to Gressvan. Gressvan is one of the older maps in the map pool, a larger map as well, known for longer mid-game play, but Maru has been very aggressive as of late. If you recall, coming into his Lambo series, what did we say about Maru? We said, hey, he's known for mech and he's known for 8 Raxes. And what did he do in that series? He mech'd and he 8 Raxed. That's it, as if on cue. Meanwhile, what about his TvP? Well, he also does typically one of 2 things. Either he goes into a 2-base all-in where he pulls the boys and he commits, or he goes into mech. That has typically been the go-to of Maru. We'll see which one he goes for, if any. Here, we'll see if he ever plays a more standard macro game instead. We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Typically, Maru doesn't really branch out too much from his comfort zone. Typically, when he has a playstyle, he commits to it. So we'll see if he ever does deviate. I hope he can. I hope he will, but we'll keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE has been looking like a beast as of late. We have seen ShoWTimE take it to Clem, of course. If you've been watching the Open Cups, you would have seen ShoWTimE have some insane series and some insane performances against Clem. And we'll see how he compares to Maru. So now we have a Twilight Council opener out of ShoWTimE, going for a Twilight Council, getting into Blink. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE, he's aware of the follow-up. He sees the factory. He knows that nothing too crazy is going on, and we can settle into our mid-game, or at least we can work towards it. Back at home, we do have the initial setup here, going for the Mind Drop out of Maru. As he goes for the add-on swap. So we can see Banshee play as a follow-up, or even Raven. Just waiting to see after that medevac. So now we do have a safe opener out of ShoWTimE, 2 more gateways, 3 gate blink. So 3 gate blink stalkers out of ShoWTimE. Meanwhile, there's that add-on swap, so it's going to be the follow-up Cloak Banshee. Hallucination does confirm more Rax is on the way, so we are not going into mech. We are playing Bio. Let's go. Getting to a Bio setup. Meanwhile, we have a quadruple Mind Drop moving out. Is spotted by the Hallucination. ShoWTimE, he knows. He knows he's where he attempts to intercept. Takes down the Reaper. Spots the medevac. He knows. He's warping into the main. ShoWTimE is getting ready to the main base. Woodmine does borrow to catch out the Stalker. And looks like he might be able to. Nice catch. Ooh, gets 1 Stalker. Very nice. Drop into the main. There is an army in position. Somewhat. Going for another warp in. Woodmine's do borrow. 1 Woodmine goes down. What about the other? It does burrow. Oh no! Jesus. Very close. Very clutch. ShoWTimE defends, losing one probe, only one probe, and a stalker as well. To three Widow Mines, sorry, to two Widow Mines. As it looks like one did waddle away. Borrowed here outside of the natural, outside of the third. The other still outside of the main. As ShoWTimE, he's gained map control, taking a third base. Behind this, you do see the 3-1-1 setup. We have our early tank production. We have the early Banshees, delay on Stim. And nice catch on the Stalkers. Doesn't quite get him. But some nice damage nonetheless. Maru, he's pushing. ShoWTimE, he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. ShoWTimE does blink back. He's trying to buy some time. And he will catch some reinforcements. Not bad. Picks up with 3 Marines and 2 SCVs, but the third base is exposed. And where's the rest of the army? Drops into the main. Does drop in. ShoWTimE, he's supply blocked. He has 800 minerals. He has all that gas as well. He's been missing warp-ins, brutal supply block, and with that, ShoWTimE is falling apart. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, with that, Maru, he denies the third. That should not have happened. And Maru, he can now move in for the kill. As ShoWTimE, he's still supply blocked. Just now he breaks out. And now he can warp in. Tanks are getting within range. And we get on top of the robo as well. That means no more immortals. I mean, ShoWTimE is at least catching reinforcements, but I don't know if this main army can be dealt with. It's going to be close. I mean, even if it is, Maru, he's done enough. He's done enough damage. Denying the third. Army tries to blink in. That tank volleys are brutal. At the same time, ShoWTimE gets a tank. Oh. Force fields Marines in. Okay. Decent trades here out of ShoWTimE, decent pickups. Cybercore's on the fire. Blinks in, dives on the tanks. He gets 1, 2, he gets all 3. And ShoWTimE, he will hold, he will clean this up. Cleans up the army. 1 Banshee barely makes it out. So behind this, Maru, he does not have a third CC. More Raxes. More Raxes are being thrown down. On the one hand, Maru did do a lot of damage, true, and I want to give the edge to Maru. Again, ShoWTimE, he defends, he holds, but no third. The third base just now getting up and running, just now getting saturated. He needs more time to actually make use of this expansion. Maru throws down a third CC himself. We're building up into the mid game. Okay, let's go. The game will continue from here. Game will continue. ShoWTimE, at least he preserved the probe count, true. Did preserve it. Ooh, as the Banshee goes down. And Maru does overextend. And from here, the game will continue. I'm sure he has an economy to work with, but how does he use it? Just now getting to charge, storm, gateway explosion, all this is delayed. Again, it's just been a shaky game for both players. Has been shaky. Maru moving out. Observer, ooh, gets spotted. Keen eyes there out of Maru. Ties on the army, does move out. Catching out some stalkers. He blinks into the Marauders, and brutal losses here for ShoWTimE. And that might just be game here as he bleeds out. How many stalkers? That's 9 stalkers going down. And this is the main army. This is the main army here for ShoWTimE. Back at home, he does have some storms, but this is a very Marauder heavy composition. A couple of storms is not going to cut it. As that was 12 stalkers going down, and Maru takes a massive supply lead. And soon he can just A-move. Soon he can just A-move across the map. We have the attempted zealot run by. Maru does spot it. Maru, he is aware. He scans for the 4th base. Maru's moving out. These storms, we need some juicy connections to try to hold on here. Maru, his army split up. Okay. Good start for ShoWTimE. Maru's army gets caught out. Spots the 4th base. And Maru, he's already got Ghost sprinkled in. He's ready for those EMPs. As once again, storms that don't quite connect. Tank does siege in time. Maru, he backs off, pulls away, respects the army. Behind this, Colossus production is delayed. We have the Bale on the way, we have the Robo as well. ShoWTimE is still working on this Colossus. And there is going to be a window in time where Maru can push out before the Colossus are ready. Likewise, if ShoWTimE isn't too careful with the High Templar, a couple of EMPs will shut him down. So we go. As we are maxed. 2 Colossus are on the way. And Maru's pushing. He's moving out. It's a limited Viking production. I guess 2 Zealots. Maru, he moves out. Zealot run by. Runs into reinforcements. That's also 3 High Templar across the map. There's 9 in total, so 6 back at home. Maru does push forward. Here we go. We have the flanking storms. EMP the Archon. ShoWTimE moving in. Storm will graze the army. Nothing major yet. And ShoWTimE looks like we'll finish up those Colossus. He's getting there. And hey, we spoke about it at the beginning of the game, but Gressfan, known for longer and later games, we got there in the end. Did get there. As the map is being cut in half, we're slowing the game down. Road players still being very active. Ideally, if ShoWTimE sees an opening, he will go into Sky Toss. Or he can. We'll have that option. For now. We're still trying to look for a way in. And we aren't just taking up. We're taking up from here into more starports, fusion cores on the way. That should be for Liberator Ghost. Liv Ghost is the ideal against a ground-based army. And so far, ShoWTimE's still stuck on the ground. Going for more gates. So 2 upgrades or 2-1 upgrades. It does feel like Maru's just outscaling ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE's army still lacking. Does catch a ghost though. Okay. Gets a stray ghost. Still very tense. As it's just a very delicate army for ShoWTimE. He has to be so careful with how he commits. Otherwise he will lose everything. Speaking of, does poke in, lands one of the storms. As the other scary thing about Gressvan is that we're cutting the map in half. At this point, ShoWTimE is at capacity. These northern bases still have been untouched. ShoWTimE still posturing. And shouldn't be committing into the liberation zones. Just poking in. There it is. Now we finally get the Stargates. I would say this is late. So late Stargate at a ShoWTimE. This has had a lot of resources for quite some time. Again, the goal for that Stargate should be for a fleet beacon, into Mothership, into upgrades, into just preparation for Skytels. Says that fleet beacon. 2 more Stargates. ShoWTimE he rotates. It does find a way in. Oof. Couple of SCVs. The runway is spotted. ShoWTimE is aware. Does push in, frees up some supply, which means he can warp in. He's warping in back at home. ShoWTimE does hold. Meanwhile, a big shout to BMO in the chat. Amiga, BMO. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast. I'm assuming you were covering a Stormgate event. Hope you had a great time. Bienvenidos. Welcome. Welcome one and all to Maestros of the game. This is a big offline, soon-to-be offline event happening in France. Of course, the playoffs are going to be offline. This is still the online group stage. Online group stage. And we have the beginning of our fresh best of 5. Still game 1. Still game 1. Maru does set up. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Yes, hope you had a great time. You can already see the transition to Skytel, so making 3 Tempests at a time. It's a very delicate transition. Over time, ShoWTimE wants to throw away a couple of gateway units here and there. Free up that space. Meanwhile, Maru, he's already on 10 liberators. That's a lot of liberation. That's a lot of freedom, Pappy. A lot of freedom. Maru's moving in. Yeah, just jeez. Just throws down all the zones. That zones away ShoWTimE. Just cannot push into this. Again, Maru, he's reached his final form, which is Ghost Lib Viking. And he just bully the ground army. And without a high Tempest count, ShoWTimE, he can't stop this. Again, how do you counter this with Tempest? With Tempest, to just chip away at the Liberators. With that extra range. Maru, he rotates over. Maru going for the nuke. Nuking the side of the fence. He's got 2 more starports on the way, plus 3 vehicle weapons as well, or ship weapons. ShoWTimE has to be so careful here. The base is going to go down. Nice pick off. Gets 10 probes and the Nexus. Oh. Why ShoWTimE? He does pick off a couple of Liberators. Gets 2. Maru backs off, making more Vikings. Giving to all the Vikings. As we can see, Maru actually attempting to surround. Coming in from behind, ShoWTimE is getting cornered. Disruptor goes down, gets Disruptor, gets a High Templar as well. One Storm lands, and ShoWTimE's trapped. Yeah, he is trapped, forced to give it up. Fighting into liberation zones, and ShoWTimE, he will lose all the Colossus. Colossus go down, Tempest as well. There are just so many Vikings in the sky. And Maru, he dominates the air. Does dominate. Meanwhile, the ground army actually breaks through. ShoWTimE, can he keep going? Can he get on top of the Ghost? As the Ghost count is very low. And yeah, we just warp in. We just warp in. More Stalkers, more Zealots. We're done with the air. We're done with the Tempest. Going for a mass gateway transition. And he's catching Maru out. Let's go. Gets a CC. Takes down a CC. Storm's coming in. Remember, the Ghost count is very low. Nice Storm. No EMPs. Yeah, 0 EMPs left. Keep going. Keep going, Pappy. You can do it. It's the ShoWTimE. Liberators have arrived. Yeah, it's so difficult to push in. And ShoWTimE, you can see the Remax here with Mass Zealot. Oh, miss rally. And miss rally out of Maru. Throws away a couple of Ghosts. ShoWTimE is max, but he cannot quite push into the natural, so ignore it. And going for the fringe bases. Goes to Planetary. Planetary goes down, drawing the army away from the Liberators. Nova going off as well. Grazes the army. Nothing major. But ShoWTimE pulls away, knocking down more bases. And you can see Maru is down to 33 SCVs, barely an economy. Another base goes down. Now with that, Maru, he can't quite keep up. Not anymore. He cannot sustain these losses. We saw in that last big fight that, again, maybe invested too heavily into his anti-air. Too fixated on that part of the fight. As Maru trying to be more active. ShoWTimE, he can avoid the main army. True, he can just go for the base trade. You just go straight for the natural. Where we headed? ShoWTimE moves in. Okay. I was like, there are no storms. High Templar now moving forward. He's got his storms. Same time, Zealot run into the mineral line. Let's get in. 7 SCV kills. Maru, he's super max, which is terrifying. Essentially, Maru, he's on a very, very low SCV count. And as a result, has a much higher army supply. So Maru, he has a massive army to work with. It's also one and done, just because of his low economy. ShoWTimE is maintaining map control, rotating back and forth, going for... Oh my god, there are so many mules! Going for the northern base. And there should be no saving this expansion. Maru coming in from behind. Liberators are set. Colossus is going down. He gets 1. Yeah, he gets 1, gets 2. Hello, Zelsu. 4 storms are coming in though, and he stands in the storms. Yeah, the storms are brutal. Do we have any more? Not quite. And no more storms remaining. With that, Maru, he holds. Does hold, does defend. Just barely. Again, we spoke about it. The soup does lie right now. The soup is lying. Maru has 91 army supply. It's a terrifying army. It's big, Spappy. It's big. Smart does knock down another expansion. Now moving in for another Nexus. Same time, looks like a bit of a misrally here out of Maru. Oh, it's going to be Maru starting to be called out. We've been here before. the roles have been reversed. Blinks on forward, dives on the main army. GG gets called. And ShoWTimE, he will catch out the army. He will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. A very, very intense game 1. It went the distance. Both armies did max out. Both players were actually with a solid economy as well. But we saw that it all led into that one big engagement towards actually the same place we just saw the fight, but in the reverse. We saw that ShoWTimE got caught out, got surrounded. I thought at least the game was over then and there. But in the end, ShoWTimE, he won the battle on the ground. He was able to reset the ghost count. His gateway army did pop off. And with that, he did overwhelm, pushing straight into the mining bases of Maru after that fight went his way. GG, well played. When it came to Maru, it did seem like he was maybe overly fixated on the Skytoss army, less on the ground. As a result, sure, he was taking down Colossus, he was taking down Tempest as well, but at the cost of his ghost. His high ghost count plummeted in the early stages of that fight, which allowed the rest of the gateway army to overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE takes a lead, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Maganatha. As you can see here, on my top left, we have the map order here: Gresvan into Maganatha, Tokamak, Incorporeal, and Golden Wall. We have our map order, and I'm most interested in the fact that the first 3-4 maps even are the largest maps in the map pool. We have Gresvan, of course, which is a larger map in the tournament map pool, followed by Maganatha and Tokamak, and Incorporeal. That's pretty much larger maps here, and we'll see how Maru will approach this. If you recall, at the start of the game, I assumed Maru he'd play mech or he'd play into like an all-in, but no, Maru he embraced a more economic game state. That part of that could just be the map itself. True, we'll see. We shall see as we're loading into Maganatha. Okay. ShoWTimE camera stuck. Yes, as we mentioned, I don't know if you can see, but ShoWTimE, he's like, his webcam is like a slideshow. It's a PowerPoint presentation. It's just connectivity issues for ShoWTimE, so it looks like he has some latency issues, which means there's just a rough connection for his webcam. Regardless, here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. As we're settling into game 2, ShoWTimE has that 1-0 lead, and we'll see if he can claim the series and extend that lead coming into this. Let's go. Likewise, now as we load into a larger map, Maru, is he more tempted to go into mech here? Is he more tempted to go into a 2-base all-in? We'll see where he leads us. Show us what you got. He's locked in. Exactly. He's stiff, back. He's stiff. Unmoving. Unwavering. Este ShoWTimE. Let's go. Here we go. Pues hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Novea as well. Is game one of an open qualifier? No, the qualifier stage has concluded. This is the group stage. It is the group stage. This is the round of 16. We already concluded Group A, B, C. Now we're here in Group D. As we have our initial economic opener, so racks expand into a delayed factory out of Maru, going for a single gas opener. So more of an economic start this time from our red Terran player. Meanwhile, from the side of ShoWTimE, interesting setup. We're expecting 3-gate blink. We'll see how he makes use of that probe, just going for a follow-up scout or committing to a pylon. Oh, does commit. Okay. Pylon is going to be thrown down, which means he can actually throw down a gateway across the map to reinforce that much faster. We'll see how aggressive ShoWTimE plans on being here. I don't think I'm too fond of the idea of going 4-gate blink stalker, specifically on Maganatha, just because the main base is less accessible. We're going for the proxy dark shrine. Okay, let's go. Proxy dark shrine. Cheeky build here by ShoWTimE. Very, very cheeky. Now, as you can imagine, in this matchup, this build can end games. We have seen players like Bjorn, like Cure, just insta GG, depending on the timing. So the way this works here, as you can imagine, is Maru gonna mule? If Maru mules too well, if he's too on top of his macro here, and if he mules just before the DTs move in, then they will deal critical damage. They will deal critical damage here across the map. It all depends on whether or not Maru has any energy and how far away he is from a scan. Likewise, it is not uncommon to go for a Raven-based follow-up. As you can see, Tech Lab is on the way after the mine drop, so Maru, he may just even open up Raven. That's not uncommon in this matchup. If he happens to, then he'll be quite lucky in that respect. We'll be able to deal with the Dark Templar. So is there going to be a scan? Is it going to be a Raven? Ooh, Cloak Banshee. Doesn't open Raven, so that will go in favor of ShoWTimE. So Cloak Banshee opener. Wouldn't mind dropping to the main. ShoWTimE, is he paying attention? So far he is. Probes, they pull away. Stalkers do respond. And with that, they do respond. Mine shots going up. 3 probe kills so far. Not bad. This is a lot of damage, but at the same time, here come the DTs. They're walling into the bases. Looks like a scan is available with the natural. Yeah, 1 scan to the natural, and just the 1 scan for now. There we go. The first scan does throw down. DT gets away. No, he gets away. Yeah, DT does waddle away, and so far, no mining in the main base whatsoever. Raven production has begun. Cancels the Banshee. And we can just go back in. We can go back in. Go for it. ShoWTimE. Go back in. There we go. Does go back into the natural base. This is becoming critical damage. This is getting out of hand. Yeah, 10 SCV kills. We're about to have 1 more scan. At the same time, we do have a mine drop here into the natural. ShoWTimE is paying attention. He defends. And this is getting out of hand. There's the second scan. There's still DT in the main base. And Maru, he will deal with this, but look at the economic damage. 14 SCV kills and no mining in the main. And as the dust settles, Maru, he's heavily, heavily behind in economy. A strong start here from ShoWTimE. Claiming his 3rd base. Probing up. And ShoWTimE looking good. He defends back on him now. Thankfully, Maru, he was able to kill some probes, right? That was 6 workers going down, so it was less than ideal defense out of ShoWTimE. But he's ahead enough. He did trade well enough. He has Blink, of course. If he gains high ground vision, he can try to dive into the main base. For now, he's looking for a way in. Jesus. Okay, calm down, Maru. Calm down. And honestly, ShoWTimE doesn't have to push in. He could like be a little bit more opportunistic and look for a key pick off like a Raven or a tank, or going into the main base and picking off add-ons as well. Meanwhile, second factory, mech. We expected mech at some point in this series. If you recall, we spoke about mech in game 1. Here we're getting mech in game 2. But alas, Maru doesn't have the economy yet to sustain this, and ShoWTimE's getting further ahead. From here, ShoWTimE can get a 4th base, can tech up into splash damage, charge is on the way, storm is going to be on the way as well. It have shades, and ShoWTimE he scouts, he confirms all the factories he sees. So ShoWTimE is fully aware of the mech. Now he can prepare with robos, with immortal production, which would be more ideal. alongside the Gateway Army, of course. 4th base on the way. And it's going to be an uphill battle here for Maru. It's going to be uphill. He's also, I mean, he is going for immaculate accelerators, but he's going for a more traditional form of mech currently, going for a very heavy tank count. Oh no, tank's getting caught unsieged. 1 tank goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. Oh, barely does. Can we get all 3? And it looks like all 3 tanks do fall. Aye. Did come at a cost. Was a trade, 4 stalkers, but that is well worth it for ShoWTimE. He almost resets the tank count. This also delays the move out, delays the push, delays any form of aggression that Maru was hoping to go for. Este ShoWTimE. Rotates once again, the tanks are exposed. He goes to the dive, he gets 1. Oh, gets 1 more tank, barely nuts, no. Yeah, a little bit miscalculated there from ShoWTimE. Needed 1 more stalker shot, it doesn't get the tank, Maru he holds. So a better trade for Maru. Maru's holding. Prism is on the way. And ShoWTimE has to be careful not to trade too inefficiently here. ShoWTimE is ahead, he's in a better position, that is true. But doesn't want to throw away that lead. Nice snipe. Gets a Banshee. Picks up a Banshee. You can see here the soup is a little bit deceptive, the supply I should say. Maru, he is down, what, 15 supply, 20 supply, but it's really more than that because ShoWTimE, he's on 80 probes. He just got his 4th base up and running, just got it saturated, and soon ShoWTimE, he will skyrocket ahead in production, or in supply. As his production's kicking in. His economy, of course, as well. And here comes ShoWTimE. Yes, Storm. We can see Maru, he's fully walling up. Now, ShoWTimE does not have to push into this. He wants to, though. Sees the setup. Going for the dive. The siege line is ready. Storm zones away. Nice missile here on the Stalkers. Yeah, and with that, Maru, he's holding. Maru shuts down the Archons. And as we mentioned, ShoWTimE, he doesn't have to push into this, into the Sim City, into the wall. Maru, he's recovering, and ShoWTimE's throwing away a lot of supply here. Whereas otherwise, he could be taking up into Sky Toss. You see instantly Maru, he re-walls. ShoWTimE is going for this, he's going again. Going for the dive. Ooh, very nice target firing, no storms. And ShoWTimE, he throws away 3 High Templar. That was 3 Templar going down. Brutal losses. Just waiting that to be updated. There we go. Sorry, I said 3. 4 High Templar. And again, ShoWTimE, he's throwing away his lead. He's throwing away his lead, just ramming his face against a brick wall, into all these siege tanks, into the Sim City. Stop going for it, Babby. Just what? ShoWTimE, calm down. It's not working. Just chill and max out, and take up, and deny the 4th base. As ShoWTimE, it looks like he is taking a more... Okay, he's calming down. He's calming things down. You can see he rotates over towards the right-hand side, checking for a 4th expansion. And really, this is all that ShoWTimE needed to do. Just be the first to max out, tech up, and just contain the Terran on 3 bases. That's it, just contain the Terran player. Alas, he wanted to try to end it. I mean, he was ahead. True, so it's understandable, but... Again, the SimCity, the wall was the MVP there for Maru. Just ensuring that the tanks were safe. Zell safe for some friendly fire. Quite a bit, actually. Mass Banshee in the main base. Maru going into high flight rotors. We have 5 Banshees so far. And ShoWTimE is mass expanding. The problem here is that ShoWTimE, he's going to be the first to max. He's mass expanding. But because of all the supply that was thrown away, Maru, he's catching up. He's caught up, at least supply-wise. And from here, he can move out. And this is a terrifying army as well. It's very tank-heavy. It's a very efficient army as well. It is slow, true. That's going to be the one issue, is getting across the map. That's where ShoWTimE can punish. Once we see a mass on siege and Maru attempt to move out, then ShoWTimE can pick away at the army and slow it down. So ShoWTimE just has to be patient. Just be patient, wait for the move outs, and likewise, we see the tech. Bay's on the way, Stargate's on the way. We could have seen a much earlier Stargate, much earlier Fleet Beacon, it's an earlier Sky Toss. It's on the way though. We're getting there. Ooh, as Banshees, they pop up. 11, 12 probe kills. 13 probes going down. So nice harass in the midst of all this. Now we have the expansion. We spoke earlier, the goal here for ShoWTimE should have been to make sure that we never expanded, that Maru never got a fourth. But he's getting it. Fourth base is getting up. Most of the tanks still centralized here in between the natural and third. And that's where the main army still is. ShoWTimE trying to rush in. Once again, a brutal choke point. Maru, he's holding. Oof, takes care of all the zealots. Can't chase ShoWTimE down. Again, ShoWTimE is out of position. There's the recall. Does recall over. We have 4 Stargates on the way. Again, we're trying to get into this mass Sky Toss transition. ShoWTimE, he's getting there. Into the Mothership, into Tempest. ShoWTimE needs time. He needs more time. Oof. ShoWTimE will lose part of his mineral line. 5 probes going down. Maru now taking an economic lead. Up in workers, up in economy. Picking up more stalkers. Ugh, ShoWTimE, he just can't quite keep up with this. Speed Banshees, they can be so annoying to deal with. And Maru, he might even get the Nexus. ShoWTimE, he's finding some damage. Does force a reaction. Maru, he turns everything. Jesus. He turns everything around. The Banshees, the tanks, the bit of an F2 here against a harassing force. Which means Maru, he's out of position towards the northern base. There's nothing here. Uh-oh. Yeah, nothing to defend. ShoWTimE is just going for the planetary. Massive pickoff. 4th base will go down. And again, just an overreaction out of Maru. Okay, ShoWTimE is back in this. He's back in this. Let's go. As down goes 21 SCVs and the planetary. Now, on the one hand, yes, it's replaced immediately with an orbital, but it's an orbital. Now this position is that much weaker. Now there's no planetary. Stalkers, they dive in. Speaking of the base being more exposed. Almost goes down. Almost. Forcing friendly fire as well. Warpins are coming in. Zealots are rallying forward, going for the tanks. And we'll get on top of them. These are efficient trades. But again, there's a lot of pressure on ShoWTimE because Maru double expands, right? Gets a 5th base, retakes his 4th. Worker count is still much lower. ShoWTimE looking for a way in. Finds another tank. Gets another tank. Rotates back around. These tanks are exposed. Goes for the CC. And we'll get it. Oh, una más. One more volley and barely does not. Yeah, a little bit of miscontrol there from ShoWTimE. He did a move, so a volley of the Stalkers actually went for the SCVs, not for the CC. Oh, nice storm. A nice storm with the Banshees. Catching out a tank and another Banshee. still a very intense game. Unfortunately, ShoWTimE did miss an opportunity to get the expansion. And he will lose his own. Meanwhile, we spoke about that Skytoss transition, and here it is. With the 5 Stargates, we're going into Mass Carrier. Interesting choice, going into Carrier instead of Tempest. Tempest technically are more efficient, true. They're just better units in a longer late game, but they're also slower, right? Like Tempest, they're ideal for having a slow siege into this siege line, into this army. Going into Mass Carrier like this is meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, we have Mass Thor. Oh my god. Maru, he saw the Stargates. He saw the Stargates earlier, so he responded with Mass Thor. So this Mass Carrier move should not work out. As Thors are responding. Carrier is going for the planetary. Thors move in. And ShoWTimE does storm the mineral line. Again, he's going to get out of here. Oof, losing a carrier. As you mentioned, going Mass Carrier like this, it's ideal if it's not seen coming. Oh my god, speaking of not seeing it coming, DTs, they get a mineral line. 19 SCVs going down, not bad. ShoWTimE still rotating. Oh, has to respect those doors. Yeah, ShoWTimE cannot fight this head on. Oof. Thors are here. And Maru, he might just push out with this. Piece of a Raven. Disruptor production has begun. Disruptors, they're going to be okay. They'll be okay against this. Nice counterattack once again, though. ShoWTimE is just all over Maru. Gets another CC. Gets another expansion. Maru, he turns around for a moment. A little bit indecisive. But what's important here is that Maru's kept at home, right? Like, I'll be honest, Maru has a massive army. He's at 136 army supply. If he moved out, he could end the game. ShoWTimE doing everything he can to keep him busy. To trade, to be proactive. Storms the Hellbats. Does force a recall. Does force a recall. Another counterattack once again. Unfortunately, there's no CC. But Maru, he's still stuck at home. He's still stuck at home. But he is about to max out. And it's gonna be one massive push. One big move out to end the game. I'm still not entirely convinced here by the Disruptors. It is an answer to Thor. Not the best answer, but it'll help. Good. Maru, he's almost maxed out. Getting a little bit choked up here. But he's almost maxed. He has that center left base back up and running. Oh. As Disruptor's going to be going down. One Thor falls. Here comes a Nova. Does connect. Yeah, we get a couple connections, but Disruptor's getting caught out here by the Cyclones. Oof. Disruptor count, I believe, yeah, was completely reset. Every Disruptor goes down, and here comes Maru. He's pushing. He commits. And Maru, he finally commits. His space will fall. Prism into the main. Okay, bold move. Nexus goes down, and ShoWTimE is just going for the base trade. He's going for the counterattack. He knows he cannot fight this Thor army. It's not going to happen. So ShoWTimE, he avoids it. Thankfully, doesn't blink in. But we'll take some massive tank shots to the face. Oof, a lot of Stalkers go down. From here, he pulls back at the same time, warping into the main as well, catching out tanks, catching reinforcements. Not bad. 2, 3 tanks falling. Decent pickoffs. Distract some of the reinforcements. The Thors is still a problem. How many robots are there? 2. Just a 2. I mean, this is still okay for ShoWTimE if he's able to get like a Thor at a time, just pick away at the army, pull back. But he doesn't have that much room to work with, not anymore. Templar does get picked off. Templar goes down, Thor's there waddling in. We've got to make these levers count. No. The rally. Does get one Thor, kind of. Can't Novas, they tickle the Thors. And Maru's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throats. Takes out one base, takes out another. Again, this is the first time that Maru really pushes across the map, and you can just see that this army cannot be stopped. It's not going to happen. And ShoWTimE, he knows it. He tries to avoid it. The reason why I pointed out the robo count was I would say a better response instead of going Disruptor was just Mass Immortal against a Thor tank heavy composition like this. But he only has 2 robos as well. Does find some of these tanks though. Tanks are exposed. Nice blink. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks going down. A lot of tanks do fall. Maru out of position with the Thors. And without a much better fight for ShoWTimE, resets the tank count, comes in from behind of the Thors. They're caught out, they're on their own. No support for the Thors, and ShoWTimE, he will try to take the fight. Not enough. Yeah, still barely not enough. That was maybe the best fight he could have hoped for. That was an insane fight. Catching all the tanks first, but GG gets called. Still not enough. He's out of steam, and Maru, he will tie up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We do have a back and forth. Again, ShoWTimE, unfortunately, he just had a really hard time answering, of course, the Mass Thor. Even before that, though, like 20 minutes ago, that was a long game. We had ShoWTimE taking a massive lead, if you recall, and that lead was thrown away. We saw ShoWTimE, I think he went for 2, maybe 2.5 fights where he was pushing into a siege line and he was trading very, very inefficiently. He lost his early lead. As we mentioned, we could have seen a faster transition out of it into Sky Toss, but didn't quite get there. We saw that ShoWTimE, he attempted to go into the mass carrier transition, as we were pointing out. That can work really well if it goes unscouted, but because it was seen, Maru, he was already going into Mass Thor. So he already had the Mass Thor response. Otherwise, Mass Tempest would have been a better choice there for instead of the carriers, just because it's just more efficient, just a more efficient army. And things got very chaotic. Things got very chaotic between the two players. It was very intense, very back and forth. They both had their own moments, of course, coming into the later portion of the game. GG. GG, well played. With that, we do tie things up, and we're getting ready for game 3. But it looks like Maru, he's asking for a moment, which is understandable. Like, that was a really long, really intense game, and we are going for a short break here. 3 minutes. Okay, we're going to be going on a short break to rest, to recover, to recuperate before continuing with the series. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. Hi. Just catching up in the chat. Maru was ready for that unload. He was. I recall the moment you're speaking of when ShoWTimE unloaded 2 High Templar to Storm, and the High Templar instantly got targeted down by the tanks. That was a crazy moment. That was a crazy moment. That was the first time that ShoWTimE pushed into the siege line. Shoto is playing out of his mind today. He was. Like, again, like ShoWTimE, he had a stronger early game for sure. Like he was popping up. He was popping up. Ay. Oh, hello, Sig, hello. Only counters like 10 plus Tempest. I would agree. That's why like I'm not too fond of the mass carrier like start or transition that ShoWTimE went for. Not too fond of it. But GG. But for now, looks like sorry, it's just catching up. We were going to be cutting to a short break here, but I think the break is about to wrap up. Yeah, we're about to wrap up, so we're going to be jumping into our next game. As you can see here, game 3 is going to be on Tokamak. Oh, as I should update the scoreline. ShoWTimE, then Maru. But game 3 is going to be on Tokamak, another one of these larger maps. Because of the size, of course, I would not be surprised if Maru goes into mech again. Again, Maru has been very fond of mech when it comes to this meta, when it comes to TvP, so we could see it again here on Tokamak as well. Despite that, we'll see how ShoWTimE can handle himself. I'm hoping that if he does find himself with a lead, that he doesn't get too excited and we can, you know, extend that lead and get further ahead. I would have definitely preferred that out of ShoWTimE, but we'll see. We'll see what he does decide to go for. We'll see if he can end up with that kind of lead again coming into game 3. Let's go. Likewise, I wouldn't put it past Maru to even cheese the proxy. He can be a very chaotic player at times. Can mix it up. Let's go. As our players are back and we're loading into that third game. God time, my goat. Este di Mega, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Ga, papi, ga. Este di Mega. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. Oh, you can see the Dram Hack trophy in the background. Let's go. Let's go. As we're getting into our third game. As a reminder, this is a best of 5. Best of 5, so we have plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more games to come. As this time, Maru does open up double gas. Interesting. Remember, last game we saw a Rax expand single gas opener out of our Terran player. This time, double gas going to a faster factory, going for a more tech-heavy start from the side of Maru. So our eyes are on Maru. We'll see how he does open up. We'll see where this leads us. God, I almost forgot it was 20 minutes ago where ShoWTimE was popping up with the Dark Templar. Like, again, he had a very strong start to the game. Oh, the DTs, man. Yeah. It's crazy. Regardless, ShoWTimE scouts, confirms the gases, confirms the factory timing, is aware. And of course, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool. More defendable as well. The third, fourth base are a little more defendable compared to on other maps, even like Maganatha. As opposed to other maps, the area between the bases is closed off by rocks, so it's more harder to rotate between them to be the aggressor on Tokamak. Not saying it's impossible, you can still go for all-ins and still catch your opponent off guard, just more difficult to pull off. As a result, hey, if Maru wanted to turtle again, he can't. This would be the map for it. If he wants to just turtle up on tanks and Thors, could do it again. But I would imagine that if we end up in that situation for a second time, that ShoWTimE would have a different reaction, a different response. For now, Twilight counts a follow-up. Twilight counts into Blink. And we'll see how many gateways ShoWTimE goes for. He could even cut some corners. Could even go for a faster third. For now, poking it with the Shade, poking it with the Adept. So players are settling in. Here comes the initial drop as well. Last game, we of course had the quadruple mine drop. Oh, sorry, triple mine drop even. This time we have the Cyclone Fob, third gateway's on the way, so 3-gate Blink out of ShoWTimE. As one of the gateways should be cancelled. And ShoWTimE is ready. Oh! There's a cancellation. Maru back at home, following up with Cloak Banshee. So we have the Cyclone drop into Cloak Banshee, this time out of Maru. We don't have any kind of crazy hidden proxy Dark Shrine. Not again. Not this time. More standard play out of ShoWTimE. Oh, nice snipe. Takes down the Reaper. Maru looking for a way in. Does catch the Adept. Nice pickup. Heads towards the third base. And Maru, he shouldn't find too much damage here. Oh! Starts to pull away. Throughout all of this, ShoWTimE, he has yet to scout across the map. He hasn't seen what's coming his way. There is no sentry, there's no hallucination. And as a result, we have any detection either. There is. Okay, observers moving in. There's an observer on the map. Can always recall if need be. As ShoWTimE, he gets into the main base and he will scout the tech. He does see the researching tech lab. He knows. He's aware of Cloak Banshee. We do have a second observer on the way. Meanwhile, faster third CC out of Maru. Okay, much more economic build this time. That is a third CC before any other production building, before a racks, before a factory. So greedier build. I'm leaning towards another factory. Yeah, let's go. Mech. Typically, whenever we see players like Cure and players like Maru go for this fast third CC, it's indicative of mech. ShoWTimE, he did spot the command center timing. If he dips in and sees the research on the tech lab, then he'll know. As he does not have full confirmation. But now busy with the Banshees. Oh. It does chase Maru down. ShoWTimE, he no, barely does miss. Just barely. Does miss the Banshee. Banshee gets away. Oh, never mind. ShoWTimE with the interception. Nice snipe. Takes down the Banshee, and I would hope that he's aware of what's going on. Behind this, going for a gateway explosion. 5 more gates on the way. ShoWTimE settling in. And we'll see if we can slow down the third base of Maru. Oh, charge is done. Can he catch Maru on siege? Yeah, he does spot the tanks. Tanks do reposition. SimCity's getting up and running. Very nice setup here by Maru. Very nice. Server goes down. I'm getting deja vu. I see a siege line. I see SimCity in front of it. I'm getting some Game 2 flashbacks. Let's go. Can he get in? Zelzay charge on forward. Trying to get on top of the tanks. Does blink in. He gets one. One tank goes down, but the tank shots are brutal from the high ground. Gets a second tank. And Maru looks like he will hold. Yeah, he holds, he shuts down the army. He will cost him 11 SCVs. At least this time there's a trade, and at the same time warp in into the main. Does warp in. Not bad out of ShoWTimE, but it was costly. So it cost him every single stalker. Say that 2 stalkers left. Denies mining at the 3rd base. Getting more economic damage. 19 SCVs. Okay. And a Rax. I mean, that does matter. That will impact factory production. So ShoWTimE doesn't kill Maru, but he does cripple. He does cripple. And he's still going in. Respects the tank. ShoWTimE pulls away, getting 70 probes. Stargate, much faster Stargate this time. Let's go. ShoWTimE is all over this. He's all over this. He's of course aware of mech. Going for a much faster transition into Skytoss. ShoWTimE is getting there. Storm is on the way. This is greedier, but ShoWTimE also knows he can get away with this greed. Or at least he should. Oh. Nice Banshee flyby. Gets 6, gets 7 probes. Stalkers they respond. 11 probes even. Ay, ay, ay. 11 probes go down. Very nice run by here by Maru. And ShoWTimE does miss. And we have a back and forth. This time we do see that Maru, he's actually not, I should say, he delayed his tank production going into faster battle mech, into more Cyclones, into more Hellions. So Maru actually has a presence on the map, which means he might even punish ShoWTimE for taking up this quickly. Assuming that he was going to go into Skytoss. Going for the Phoenix. So Phoenix production has begun. That will help against the Banshees. As we have more Banshees on the way. True. Otherwise it's on ShoWTimE to keep up. Hellion run by on the right. Army's in position. As ShoWTimE, he's going for the mineral line. Does cause distraction. Nice storms. Yeah, not bad. 11 ACV kills and he pulls away. Does pull away. So again, very delicate control here from ShoWTimE. He moves in, distracts, gets off the storms, pulls back. So nice damage. Doesn't overcommit. Again, ShoWTimE, he's respecting the tanks, Pat. He's respecting them. As he rotates, looking to do the same thing here at the 4th. Army gets spotted. Tanks are set up. And ShoWTimE forced to back off. Here, he's going into a more immortal heavy composition with a second robo. I think this is fine for the mid game. I personally, I would still like to see a fleet beacon at this point. As ShoWTimE is maxed out and he's banking up resources. And again, ShoWTimE can't necessarily do anything about these fringe bases. Maru is secure. We spoke earlier about how defensive you can be on Tokamak and why we assume that mech would be an ideal here. This is an example of that. I don't see ShoWTimE breaking the 3rd or the 4th base anytime soon. The 5th is a different story. Oof. As Maru is, again, very secure. Now we have +1 air attack. We're working towards it. +1 air attacks on the way. ShoWTimE could attempt to drop play into the main base, but there's a ring of turrets. And it doesn't feel good, but ShoWTimE most likely just waiting for Maru to attempt to expand and get a fifth base. Command centers are on the way. Maru refining his army, throwing away his Marines, his Hellions. ShoWTimE is poking in, finds 2 CCs, and he should deny both. Cancels one. Tanks are a little bit too far back, but he won't cancel the other. Again, Maru's holding. I'm still concerned by the lack of fleet beacon and like quadruple Stargate setup. We are committing into ground toss. And here comes a move out. That's a lot of tanks. That's how many? 15. 15 tanks, 10 Cyclones, CCs now being taken. Maru now taking a 5th. Jesus, this army is terrifying. Okay, so it's a lot of tanks, Mappy. It's a lot of tanks. ShoWTimE he does run into the army. Runs into the tanks. Maru moving in. Takes down the Nexus. Tanks are keeping up with the rotations. And Maru, he's gaining ground. He's just bullying back the army here of ShoWTimE. Maru, he's moving in. Pushing towards the bases, trying to outposition. If he can get his tanks up this ramp, I don't think ShoWTimE can stop him. I'll be honest. Yeah, brutal anti-armor missile. Missile goes off. Ground army gets zoned away, and he's going for the kill. He's going for the bases. Tanks are moving in. ShoWTimE, he might just have the base trade. Yeah, he has to. Like again, ShoWTimE, he cannot engage this army. It's too late for that. High Templar going down. And we're going to try to trade a base for a base, but the Cyclones, they rotate in time. 1 CC goes down, but doesn't really matter as much. And we need some Zealot support here. The Cyclones. Oh. We get an OK Storm. ShoWTimE pulls away, did lose that center expansion. And Maru, he's coming. ShoWTimE, he does actually find a CC though. Yeah, Maru, he responds. He brings back most of his army, okay? Sticks around with a couple of tanks. Most of his tanks even. CC falls, more meaningful damage. Oh, that Stalkers are being thrown away. Nice rotation by ShoWTimE. Gets a mineral line. Okay, let's go. Gets a mineral line, takes down the planetary. He's going for it. Planetary does survive. ShoWTimE, he has to back up. But once again, ShoWTimE just doing everything he can to avoid the main fight. Avoid all the tanks. As Immortals are getting caught out. Maru, he's pushing once again. And ShoWTimE continues the run-bys. Continues the counterattacks. These tanks are exposed. Zealots taking collapse in. Tanks are going down. Maru's turning around. Maru turns around. Cyclone's getting caught by Zealots. Nice trades here from ShoWTimE, but he will lose another expansion. I say that. Tanks are exposed. No, the Warping! Warping got denied. We attempt this around. Decent storms, and the tank count is going to be reset. Very nice catch here by ShoWTimE. Tanks are on their own. Maru, he's being pulled apart. Cyclones are just stuck in between the bases, going left, right. Not bad. Again, ShoWTimE just outmaneuvering, outpositioning Maru. And we're gonna do that again. we're just gonna keep doing more of that. Just pulling apart the attention of Maru, I should say. Yes, now we're moving in with a hefty army. That's gonna be 11 immortals. And what do we have here? Only 5 tanks. Down from 15. Oh, brutal lock-ons. Storms are available. And this time Maru is keeping up. He's keeping up with rotations. We can storm the mineral line. Tanks yet to siege. Can go for the planetary. One more volley. Oh, planetary goes down. Not bad. It's going to cost him, what, 4 or 5 immortals. Decent storms. Storms, they shut down some of the cyclones. At the same time, ShoWTimE defends back at home. He defends his base. Takes down a planetary. Maru, he is hurting economically. Has a bank to work with. They're now down in SCVs. ShoWTimE also sustaining some losses. And ShoWTimE is still committed to purely a ground-based army. So there's no transition to Skytoss. It's not happening. There's no fleet beacon. It does mean that Maru's army can still catch out the Immortals and catch out the Archons. Double Prism into the main. There are Cyclones. Yeah, plenty of Cyclones at home to defend. Or he shuts this down. Retakes his gold. Oh, did I spoke too soon? Can ShoWTimE here to shut it down. And can he get the planetary up? He can. Oh, barely. Planetary does pull. They have to get the hell out of there. Have to pull away. Stalkers once again towards the left-hand side. Once again trying to pull Maru apart. We'll lose an immortal. But doesn't I mining? And we're maxed. We are maxed out. Maru splitting up his tanks. Okay. Does split up. I don't see ShoWTimE pushing into this. Oh. I will say this is a better split for Maru. It's got a solid tank count on both sides. ShoWTimE, what's the plan? Ideally, he does want to collapse in on one half of the army at a time. But Maru, he backs off. He's turtling up. He's ready here at both of his fringe bases. He's ready to defend. And the game does slow down. Again, this would be a good opportunity to tech up at... Focusing on upgrades, taking every base on the map. ShoWTimE has the bases, but hasn't saturated yet. Meanwhile, speaking of teching up and working towards Skytoss, so you can see Maru also scanning. He also needs to confirm whether that happens. Like, if Maru does catch a whiff of a fleet beacon, of Tempest or carriers, he has to be ready here to go into Thor's. So it does go both ways. Maru also trying to keep an eye out for that sort of thing. Maru's slowly pushing in and moving up the ramp. Once again, ShoWTimE cannot engage into this. High Templar, they have to pull away. Oh, two High Templar go down. Some brutal losses. This base will fall. And again, Maru, this time he's ready for the counterattack. As ShoWTimE rotates over towards the gold. Does get in, somewhat. This is late, but now we're going for it. ShoWTime's recognized he can no longer break Maru, so now we have the Fleet Beacon, now we have the Stargate. This could have been done a couple of minutes ago, but we're getting there. Is it too late? That's my concern. As it feels like Maru's gonna push soon. Yeah, he consolidates the army. Everything comes together. I say everything, a lot of tanks were left behind. He's got how many? He's got 20 tanks. It's a lot of tanks, man. Ay, ay, ay. We have 2 more Stargates on the way. Again, it's going to take us so long to actually embrace Skytoss. It'll be impressive if ShoWTimE can get there. He attempts to flank. Tanks are pre-sieged. Oof. ShoWTimE going to try to force his way through. Pushing into, what, 4 or 5 tanks. And a lot of them also getting low. Does break through the siege line. Yeah, the first wave goes down. He's going to try to keep going. Yeah, 4, 5, 6 tanks going down. Not bad. Again, a lot of tanks are spread out. So Maru, he's spread thin. And ShoWTimE, he will take the fight. Takes down the mineral line. Not bad. It was an expensive trade, but the Remax here, Tempest. We have the Remax here with Tempest. Let's go. Tempest are on the way. Maru is still on tanks and cyclones. ShoWTimE, good. Does not want to go into that. We gotta respect the siege line. It's a lot of tanks. But again, a very nice engage earlier. Was worth it. Maru, he's running out of money. He's broke. Gets a tank. Tank pulls away. Has to be very careful about the rally as Zelda coming in from behind. Base is exposed, nothing here. And Maru, nothing to defend. We have reinforcements on the way. And Maru should get here in time. Oh, eventually this time he's going to have to recall. Or set up a surround, true. That's still a lot of tanks, though. That's what, 11 tanks. ShoWTimE, he wants to go for it. Actually, he comes in with a surround. Zelda attempts to charge in. Storms on the Hellbats. Oh god, but the tanks annihilate the Zealots. Yeah, Zealots are falling. Immortals as well. Breaks through the first siege line. Oh god. And ShoWTimE, I don't think he has enough. Storm does land. But he's down to 2 Immortals, down to 1. And ShoWTimE, he will lose everything here. That was not quite worth it. Again, he collapsed on 11 tanks. Ay, ay, ay. Maru from here, he breaks through, but at the same time, we are banking Tempest. Wait, no. Did he cancel? Wait, what? He canceled. He canceled the earlier Tempest. Oh, no! ShoWTimE. I thought he was banking them up. He canceled earlier. Bases are going down. 29 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. ShoWTimE. I thought that was the plan. But looks like he canceled earlier, and now they're on the way. Yeah, and just misjudged this here. He had a choice to make. He could have recalled the army to safety or tried the surround. He went for the surround. Did not have enough. Now ShoWTimE, he does remax. He has a bank, true. He has a bank to work with. But this is still a terrifying army. Okay, Tempests have arrived. Let's go. We have the first wave of Tempest. And there's no anti-air. True, there's 3 cyclones. This is the anti-air. We have 3 cyclones, Pappy. Let's go. The 28-minute Tempest switch. It's here. Sorry, 4 cyclones, I should say. Down to 3. And the Tempest, they just go to town. There's no anti-air. Be confident, Pappy. Be confident. There's 2 cyclones. 2 cyclones left. Down to 1. GG gets called as we have purely tank Hellbat and ShoWTimE. He will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Aye, Pappy. Very tense, very tense game. A lot of back and forth as well. We saw that Maru, for the first half, he was being torn apart. If you recall, he was trying to push out, trying to be aggressive. We saw a lot of counterattacks, a lot of backstabs out of ShoWTimE. Really impressive play. Eventually, Maru did slow things down. He was able to slow things down. He was able to turtle up on 4 bases, get a 5th base up and running. That's when I got a little bit more concerned for ShoWTimE, but ShoWTimE was at least able to secure a better economy. He had more bases and eventually afford that Skytoss switch and that Skytoss transition. GG, well played. Also towards the end, Maru was running out of money, as we were pointing out. He had no bank, he had very limited economy. He lost so many bases and CCs throughout the course of that game, and whew, GG, well played. With that, we do have a lead for ShoWTimE, and now we're getting ready for game number 4. Fun fact, the sun has risen. I just looked up. The sun has risen, Pappy. It is 6 a.m. in the morning here in Australia. And, oh boy. Let's go. We still have many more best of 5s ahead of us. Let's go, Pappy. Let's go. As up next, we're going to be loading into Incorporeal. So just updating the score. Lambo and Hero are getting a nap right now. They should, to be honest. Oh, as we're gonna remake. Oh, at least Hero should totally be sleeping. I say it's 6 a.m. here. In Korea, it's 5 a.m. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. So unironically, Hero power nap time. Power nap. CranKy, Storm viable versus mech. Storm is useful against battle mech. I mean, as you saw, right, the Storms were doing a great job at deterring the Cyclone Hellbat or Cyclone Hellion army from actually chasing and diving in. So it was more of like a deterrent more than anything. We did see some Storms on tanks and it did soften them up a little bit and there was some damage, but for the most part, it's like more of a deterrent against like the battle mech, I should say. Against that battle mech. Why not carriers? Carriers better. Carriers are not better. We kind of went over it before. Carriers can be good. They're very niche units. I mean, for example, carriers would have worked at the end of that game just because there was no anti-air, just because Maru, he wasn't ready and he wasn't expecting Skytoss. Like in those moments, if you're able to catch your opponent off guard with your Skytoss transition, that's where carriers can work. But if they get scouted, then your opponent can be ready for that sort of thing. Which is what we saw in game 2, right? Where the carriers did almost nothing. They were in a way almost hurting ShoWTimE more than anything. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the German Protoss representing Sentinels, leading the series 2-1 and 1 game away from claiming the series as he is being proxied and being cheesed. It is ShoWTimE. The slideshow himself. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Red Terran representing Team Vitality going for the proxy 2 racks. It is Maru. Let's go, Papi, let's go. As the Raxes are on the way. And ShoWTimE does move out with the probe scout. Thankfully, does move out. So ShoWTimE, he will scout, he will confirm that the Raxes are missing. It's going to be up to ShoWTimE to determine whether it's real or fake. Remember, we saw this, I think it was in game 1, if I recall correctly, where Maru hid his first Rax here at the 3rd location. So it is not uncommon for the Terran player to hide their Rax in the main base, at the natural, or at the 3rd location, instead of going for a committed proxy. So it's on ShoWTimE to determine what exactly is going on. Does make a safety zealot. Okay, so playing safe. ShoWTimE does make the zealot. See, he's checking the 3rd location. And it is going to be proxy marauder. Bit of a mixture of the two. Interesting. But concussive shell is on the way. We have, of course, 2 SCVs to throw down bunkers if need be. To bunker rush the natural. As one of the SCVs does pull back. We're backing up those marauders. ShoWTimE getting a shield battery ready up in the main. Going for a Stargate. Okay. So ShoWTimE, he delays his natural base. He's going for the tech first, playing very carefully, very safely. The probe rescouts, does confirm no production. There should otherwise be a factory here. No factory confirms there was a proxy Rax. Proxy 2 Rax even. Or proxy 1-1. Technically true. And now the build is revealed. Does confirm the marauder. Remember, the shield battery is done. And the win condition here is just defend the ramp. Defend the ramp, go for the Oracle, get across the map and cripple the economy. Remember, there's nothing at home to defend. Rax is there floating back, and ShoWTimE has held. Oh. Still has to be careful. Still has to respect the army. Oracle's on the way, and what's the anti-air going to be looking like here? We have 3 Marines and only 3 vanilla Marines, and they're across the map with the main army. Raxes, they're still floating back home, so 0 production from the Raxes. Likewise, the factory is still finishing up. Going for the tech lab, going into a Cyclone. The Cyclone will defend, will hold, but the Oracle will hit it first. So there is so much potential for damage. Get spotted by the Marines, true, is spotted. The Oracle does turn and fight. We'll hunt down the Marines. This buys time for the Cyclone. Cyclone is on the way. And this also protects the mineral line. So not a bad trade here from Maru. But SCVs, they should still go down, as there is still no anti-air. Oh no, keep going! we can pop off, baby. There's nothing here. Nothing shoots up. Ah. ShoWTimE playing safe. Oh. Uh-oh. Who is it? Who is it? No, Steadfast. So unfortunately there was some latency there. It looks like Steadfast is lagging out. Oof. Hopefully everything's okay over on Steadfast's side of things, and hopefully things clear up as well. Es the Canadian internet. I think he's Canadian, right? I think. No. It's fine. Okay. Looks good now. Thankfully, it did occur before any fight happened, but the Cyclone is now out. ShoWTimE does not go into the mineral line. There was potential to deal damage. There was 0 anti-air for a time, but ShoWTimE plays it safe. Plays it safe instead. It takes the natural base. And with that is building up. Hope Canada's okay. No. Cross your Ethernet cables for Steadfast. Stay with us, Pappy. Stay with us. Jesus, as we open up triple Oracle. Oh my god. With triple Oracle, the goal here might just be to dive on the Cyclone. Again, the anti-air is still quite limited. Tanks are building up. Send it, Pappy. Go for the dive. As it ups, they scout the setup. The Marine count is slowly amassing, slowly building up. Goes to the mineral line. Gets two SCVs. Just the two. Once again, ShoWTimE playing it safe. And from here, we're just building up in towards the mid game. Okay, so taking stock here, where exactly are we? We have a 3-1-1, Jesus, my apologies. We have a 4-1-1 setup here. This can very easily turn into a 2-base all-in. As Maru, I mean, already with the proxy, already intended the game to be a little bit earlier, to end a little bit earlier as well. Nice revelations. Oracles into the main base, will scout the extra Raxes. Yeah, he sees. He sees, he's aware, his response here should be to defend back at home. Third base is on the way. Basically, extra Raxes here without any add-ons are indicative of just all-ins. So we could just pull the boys with this. I mean, this, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we pull the boys, 2-base all-in. Again, the extra Raxes was a tell, and ShoWTimE knows. He scouted, throws down a wall of stasis traps. He sees what's coming his way. And so far, picks away at some of the Marines. Doesn't get a tank yet. No sentries, no force fields. Scan reveals the stasis trap. Maru, he knows. And so far, trying to bait it out. Does focus it down. Yeah, catching a couple of Marines. But again, ShoWTimE, he has whittled away at the army. There's a lot of fire going down, and there's another stasis trap. Does Maru see? Does he know? Oh, he does scan. He does scan. Shuts them both down. There's 3 shield barriers behind this. But Maru's pushing in. ShoWTimE coming in from behind, catching reinforcements. There's no charge. Yeah, there's no charge. Purely Blink Stalkers. Does get a tank. Nice pickup. The natural base is going to go down, though, and ShoWTimE, he cannot save this. He cannot engage into these 3 tanks. Not with this many Stim Marines. And this might just be too much. Does go for the dive. Boys are being pulled. Can he get on top of the tanks? He's trying to. Oh god, brutal tank shots. He will get 3 tanks. Does reset, but he will lose so many stalkers in the process. Barely holds, barely defends. ShoWTimE, he's holding. He's holding on. This cost him 15 probes. No shield batteries. And Maru still might just have too much. Yeah, he's stimming in. He's going for the stim. He's going for the kill. ShoWTimE getting on top of the tank once again. Does get it. Does pick it up. With Marines, they can stim. They can win. The medevacs are out of energy. Yeah, but there's only 3 stalkers. Only 3 stalkers left. GG gets called. Maru, he overwhelms. He breaks on through, and Maru ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, only purely Blink Stalkers to defend. We did see some opportunities missed as well for ShoWTimE when it came to dealing economic damage with his Oracles. Alas, he wasn't able to. Maru, he pulled off the 2-base all-in. ShoWTimE did see it coming ahead of time, but he wasn't able to really slow it down too much. Failed to get any of the tanks, did get a couple of Marines. There was a lot of potential in the stasis traps, but Maru, he was on top of those scans. He was on top of the scans. He was on top of it, and with that, GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. Whew. Going all the way to Game 5. And Game 5 is going to be on Golden Wall. Golden Wall, a very old map in this tournament map pool. Golden Wall was in what map rotations back in 2020, 2021, 2020? It's been a couple of years. It's been a while. Has been a while here. And Golden Wall was also known for shenanigans as well, right? There are goal bases in the center, short rush distance by air, plenty of proxy locations as well in between the bases. So I would not be surprised if Maru does cheese things up again here. Oh boy. We'll see if he commits. It's seconds per frame. Exactly. Why is it a best of 5? Because this is the winner's match. It's the winner's match. So in this tournament, winners matches and elimination matches and decider matches are best of 5s. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Golden Wall. We have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? Can he be the first player to make it through into the playoffs out of Group D? It is a ShoWTimE. Ah, the Frozen Man himself. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player, the South Korean Terran, representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. As we are getting into our ace match. And ShoWTimE is going to be mining through those patches early on. Okay. So welcome one to Golden Wall. Golden Wall again was in the map pool, what, back in 2020, 2021? It's been many years, but it was also a bit of a pioneer as well. It kind of led the charge in terms of maps with this kind of layout, with mineral walls blocking off one entire section of the map. Very similar to Alcyone, very similar to El Dorado, similar to Crimson Court, and Torches nowadays as well. A lot of these maps kind of followed suit, and they have permeated throughout the meta, throughout the scene, throughout every season, I should say. Typically there's like one map with such a feature, sometimes even more than that. Infamously so. But from my recollection, Golden Wall was the first, and we often do make references to Golden Wall as a result of that. As we have that Golden Wall up here. So we have these gold bases in the center, we have the thin mineral patches here, and technically you can also mine into your opponent's bases as well, which there also used to be builds back in the day. There used to be like Ling Floods and Ling All-Ins where you would pull the boys, pull some drones, or you could also, if you remember, take the gas geyser here with the assimilator, and you could mine minerals and then mine gas and then destroy the minerals and slowly work your way through and break into the bases as well. So there were definitely some cheeky builds here on Golden Wall back in the day. Speaking of being cheeky, Jesus. Going for the entire proxy, one base all in at a ShoWTimE. Let's go. It's ShoWTimE's turn. Meanwhile, we do have a racked expand. Economic opener here by Maru, going for a late second gas geyser, later factory as a result. More of an economic build. On top of that, not uncommon for Korean Terrans not to SCV scout. No SCV scout, no Reaper scout either. It's going to be a Hellion scout. So greedy build into a delayed scout out of Maru. This is ideal for ShoWTimE to take advantage of him, as we're going for a one base Dark Shrine. I thought it was going to be a one base like 4-gate Blink All-In. No. Going into one base DTs, this is a bold move. Just like previously in this series, it comes down to whether or not there's going to be a scan available. Is Maru going to mule in time and not have a scan? Is he going to hold on to it? Is he going to scout what's going on? Here comes that Hellion scout, I should say, across the map, and we'll see if Maru gets in. So again, this is one way currently to scouts. We do have the medevac behind this to go for drop play. Hellion into the bases, and ShoWTimE, can he deny it? Oh! Looks like he will wall... Whew, he does wall off. Does fully wall off. Zones away the Hellion, and Maru sees nothing. Now, what's scary here is that seeing nothing at the natural isn't a tell, because technically, I mean, ShoWTimE is expanding, right? He is expanding, and there could have been a faster natural here, for all that Maru knows. We know that it's a delayed natural in favor of all of this. The Robo, the Twilight Council, the Dark Shrine. This is very committed here by ShoWTimE. Technically, he's expanding, but here come the Dark Templar. They're warping in. DTs do warp in. As we had a Prism into the main base, and Probe's going to be going down. No scan in the main. No. Oh, there is going to be one scan. Okay, there's going to be one scan at the natural. So far, 7 SCV kills. So far, 7 workers. Wreaking havoc in the main base. 8 SCVs going down, going for the depot as well. And there's that first scan. Yeah, one scan does connect. Raven's on the way. So far, this is good damage. And we're going for more Dark Templar, but the Raven's almost out. The Raven is almost out. Snipes the gas geyser. Hides in the corner. ShoWTimE dropping into the natural, but no saturation, no workers here. Oh, Maru, he doesn't find the DT. Uh-oh. Doesn't find it. Maru, he's distracted. Yeah, Raven distracted. DT can go back in. We can go back. We can go back in. No. Now would be the time. There we go. As DT back into the main base, and Maru, he's being torn apart. It's being torn apart here. 3 more SCVs, more denied mining. At the same time, Hellion run by across the map does get some damage. DT pulls away. We can go for more Dark Templar here towards the right-hand side. Morphing in Archons. 2 probes go down to the Hellion. Better defense here from ShoWTimE. And again, he is pulling Maru apart. Maru down to 19 workers, barely an economy. Unfortunately, nothing to kill. there's just nothing at the natural. There's just not enough workers. Oh, risky move out of ShoWTimE. Has to be careful. And Maru, he should be forced into an all-in. Like this should be the setup for an all-in. He's got a second ranks. ShoWTimE is getting ready. You do love to see it. What do we see? Charge, not blink. Charge is on the way. This is going to be ideal against a tank-based all-in. How many gateways are we on? 4, soon to be 5. So 5 gates set up with charge from the side of ShoWTimE. Maru, he's opening up the southern half of the map to commit to the all-in. So here we go. Now, charge is good and all, but how many warp pins will we have? We have some shield batteries on the way. For the most part, it looks like ShoWTimE is aware that all-in is coming. He's preparing back at home. And here comes Maru. Now, bearing in mind, this is going to be a vanilla marine move out. No stim, no combat shields, no +1, no nothing. The main power in this push are the tanks. Right, 2 tanks, the boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing for Maru. And ShoWTimE, he's ready. Well, he's getting ready. Charge is done. Charge is done in time. We need some warp-ins. There it is. We're bringing 4 zealots at a time. Ideally, want to collapse in the sun before the tanks do siege. Here come the tanks. Tanks they siege up. Nice missile. Anti missile does go up. A lot of zealots going to be going down. And do we get on top of the tanks? We barely do. Tanks they do go down. And with that, ShoWTimE he holds. ShoWTimE holds on. He shuts down both tanks. Remember, these are vanilla marines. They don't really do much here. They zone away, but the shield battery is ready. And ShoWTimE, he will shut this down. Whew. And after an intense back and forth, after a very intense series, GG gets called. ShoWTimE, he will shut down the all-in, and ShoWTimE will make it through and qualify for the playoffs. He makes it through into the playoffs, into the main event. GG, well played. Hi. GG, well played. He will make it through the group stage into the main event. Congratulations, as he takes down Maru 3-2. Went the distance, went all the way to game 5. We had some clown games towards the end with some crazy builds out of both Maru and by ShoWTimE as well, on Incorporeal, on Golden Wall as well. GG. Whew, GG, well played. The ShoWTimE, and you can see he was so elated. He could not contain his emotions, baby. Oh my god, I think he moved like a centimeter. It's crazy. It's like the ShoWTimE. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE is the first player to make it through Group D, but the question becomes, who will join him? Remember, we still have plenty more matches to go. Oh boy. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves, so we can switch our scenes over and catch up on the group. As you can see, Maru initially took down Lambo 2-0, ShoWTimE took down Hero 2-1, and ShoWTimE does make it through into the playoffs, 3-2 over Maru. Up next, we have Lambo versus Hero. They've been patiently waiting this entire time. Again, they were waiting like 2 hours. So they had some time to get some food, to have a nap, to get some rest, to get things going, and hopefully we're able to wake them up in time to play their series. And Maru cannot go to bed because Maru has to wait for the winner of Lambo and Hero. If you're a fan of Maru, do not fret. He does have another chance to make it through this group. As you can see here, there's still 1 more slot available. So Maru, he can take this time to get some rest, and to calm things down and to get ready for his next series. Oh boy. For now, we're going to be going on a break. We're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we will have that next matchup. We'll have the losers match. See you soon. See you soon after the break.